मेरे को तो कुछ था भी नहीं यार, मैं तो बंदे की तारीफ की थी मतलब इफ़ यू लुक एट और यू कैन टेल मी वेयर हैव आई सेड एनीथिंग रॉन्ग अबाउट हिम, राइट? मैं तो तारीफ की थी. अब वो शो पे बुला के आपने कुछ कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएट कर दी कुछ बोल के, ठीक है यार, वो मे बी दैट्स व्हाट दे नीडेड फॉर द शो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. राइज एंड फॉल इज़ अ रियलिटी शो, बट इट इज़ अगेन अ डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट वेयर वी आर सेइंग कि नॉट एवरीवन इन द हाउस इज इक्वल. सो डोंट एक्सपेक्ट कि पहले दिन आप आओगे, आपको माला पहनाई जाएगी, आप सब घर में इकट्ठे जाओगे. डजंट हैपन दैट वे इन लाइफ. क्लियरली देयर इज अ मार्केट फॉर रियलिटी beyond the monopolistic big boss in some sense. And we are hopeful that we bring in that additional flavor and cater to that market which is looking for something new. Host saying कि मैं गेम आगे बढ़ाता हूँ या मैं अब इस बात को ख़त्म करते हैं. That is not my task. My task is to say कि you think you're done with it. And now here comes the twist. मेरे को किसी ने शार्क टैंक पे मोटा बोल दिया तो मेरे को गुस्सा आ गया. मैंने बोला चलो ठीक है, मैं भी पतला होकर दिखा देता हूँ.
Hi, this is Samina Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me right now I have Ashneer Grover, who's been a part of shows like Shark Tank India and has launched Bharat Pay. So join me as I welcome him only on Zoom. Firstly, lovely to have you, sir, and thank you so much for such a lovely brief which we have about you, because you have kind of encouraged a lot of Indians to kind of work towards their passion and have a business of their own. How did that concept and that sharp mind came into your mind? कहीं ना कहीं कि curator कैसे बने आप इसके?
नहीं यार, see. Mine has been a very पढ़ाई वाला journey, saying कि be a topper in school, get into IIT, get into IIM, do a good corporate job. So I was always on the path of a corporate career. Incidentally, after having worked with banks for 9.5 years, I got bored. पैसा था पर मज़ा नहीं था. So I joined a friend's startup called Growers, which became Blinkit now. And I worked there for 2.5 years, and I loved it so much. The whole, entrepreneurship and to make calls and build something from scratch. Ki after that I started Bharat Pay, which became big in 3.5 years. And yeah, that's the simple journey, right?
And ever since you became a part of Shark Tank, you kind of attracted the audience towards you, because that made them kind of work on their own businesses rather than just being a corporate employee for that matter, and that is very good. Now you're coming with something which is like Rise and Fall, a different concept altogether. And when we see reality shows, when we see dramas and all, the concept seems to be quite different. Tell us something about this and what encouraged you to be a part of it.
मैं जब शार्क टैंक किया था तब भी the concept attracted me, right? I had not seen Shark Tank US, but I was always an investor, so it was up my alley कि मेरे को पता था कि करना क्या है और क्या सवाल पूछने हैं, क्या देखना है एक कंटेस्टेंट में. दिस टाइम अराउंड व्हाट आई एम डूइंग विद राइज एंड फॉल इज़ अ रियलिटी शो, बट इट इज़ अगेन अ डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट वेयर वी आर सेइंग कि नॉट एवरीवन इन द हाउस इज इक्वल. सो डोंट एक्सपेक्ट कि पहले दिन आप आओगे, आपको माला पहनाई जाएगी, आप सब घर में इकट्ठे जाओगे, आप इकट्ठे रहोगे, सेम किचन है, सेम खाना मिलेगा, सेम वॉशरूम्स हैं. डजंट हैपन दैट वे इन लाइफ. You have the haves and you have the have-nots. Unfortunately, on TV, no one is willing to bring that divide. So this show is acknowledging that divide and saying, let's bring this as an additional element, because this is more real than any other reality, right? कि divide है society में, right? एंड जो नीचे वाले उनकी एस्पिरेशन है ऊपर जाना, ऊपर वालों को कुछ भी करके अपनी पोजीशन बचानी है. एंड होपफुली ये एक अलग एलिमेंट लाएगा ऑफ इंटरेक्शन बिटवीन द कंटेस्टेंट्स एंड विल मेक इट रियली एक्साइटिंग फॉर द व्यूअर्स एज वेल.
This is deeply rooted in the Indian society. If we talk about the division of class, it's been happening for years, and I think it will continue so, because that is how we have kind of seen the culture around us. What were your thoughts? Because a concept like this kind of resonates with the audience, the Indian society for that matter, and everyone wants to like kind of build a class, a lifestyle, and they keep on thriving for it. And we also know that how the entire game in the entertainment industry also works. One is the Nepo club, then there is one outsider who's trying to kind of make a big mark, and this continues in different organizations also. What are your thoughts on that?
नहीं, आई थिंक वो हर जगह ही होता है. आप इकोनॉमिक्स भी पढ़ोगे तो हर कंपनी में एक लेबर क्लास होती है, एक मैनेजमेंट होती है. ठीक है, मैनेजमेंट का काम है कॉल्स लेना, लेबर का काम है एक्चुअली हार्ड वर्क करना. वो सोसाइटी में भी मिमिक होता है, राइट. सो आई थिंक वो जो इनइक्वालिटी है, आप उसको ब्रश अंडर द कारपेट तो कर देते हो फॉर टीवी, बट नाउ द वर्ल्ड इज बिकमिंग मोर रियल. पीपल वांट टू सी रियल थिंग्स रादर देन सेइंग कि अरे इसके बारे में बात मत करो ये. सो आई थिंक वो इनइक्वालिटी कुछ इंडिया स्पेसिफिक नहीं, हर जगह ही है.
हर जगह, या
आप यूएस भी जाओगे, वहाँ पे भी वर्किंग क्लास है, वहाँ पे भी मैनेजमेंट है, राइट. सो वी आर जस्ट एक्नॉलेजिंग इट एंड ब्रिंगिंग इट ऑन टू द स्क्रीन.
Ashneer, you have been a part of the glamour world, and ever since you have kind of made a mark over here, and with your work, of course, and people have appreciated. But at the same time, there is a downside of the glamour world, which is the nitpicking happens. You kind of become a target of that. The stabbing happens. Probably you also kind of lose on things which you have kind of worked on. How have you dealt with such a situation?
No, of course it happens. There, people, once you become famous, people also like to bring you down, right? In that sense. But that's the cost of being famous. I think you have to learn to factor that in, saying कि अगर ये चाहिए तो उसके साथ ये भी आएगा. ठीक है. Now either you can keep cribbing कि saying मेरे साथ ये क्यों हो रहा है और क्यों हो गया. Because you chose to be famous. Now there is the trappings of it, there is the cost of it, and you have to bear it, right? And I think over time you become more comfortable about it. Initially लगता है कि मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है, but I think over time you also mature and you understand कि नहीं ये package है.
And the package is like kind of you agree with it because it also gives. But you are not someone who kind of ran towards fame. That is one thing which I've noticed about you. You were not someone, but you just became popular, on its own.
हाँ तो अच्छा है ना यार. कई लोग तो भाग रहे फेम के पीछे, वो मिल नहीं रहा. आप उससे दूर भाग रहे हो, आपको मिल रहा है. So yeah, all I can say is I've been lucky in that matter. Yeah.
Talking about reality shows, you have been a part of, like you just went and met Salman on the Big Boss show. You have seen Traitors, which features Karan Johar, and then we have seen other reality shows also. How this concept is different from, from the shows which we are seeing right now?
I think Big Boss has been around for 18-19 years. It's been sort of a monopoly. And like most monopolies, after a time, anti-incumbency comes in, people saying कि हाँ देख लिया, पता है क्या expect करना है. I think last year Traitors came in. I haven't seen it personally, but I have heard good things about it. I think it's based on a game called Mafia, which is very popular among the Gen Z and the youth. So, and it got a good reception. So clearly there is a market for reality beyond the monopolistic Big Boss in some sense, and we are hopeful that we bring in that additional flavor and cater to that market which is looking for something new, right? And that's the whole idea behind the show.
But also, you're talking about someone like Dhanashree. She comes with her own personal baggages and stories, and when she's come on board, people do kind of speculate of something coming out from her personal, personal diaries basically. What was your inhibition towards her, while having someone like her on board?
Yeah, I have no inhibitions. Like, मतलब मेरे को ये लगता है कि because I've also been on the receiving end of things where people say shit about you. They write things which are absolutely not true, and unnecessarily they draw you into controversies. So I don't judge a person basis what has been said about them in public domain or in social media, because I know how wrong it can be, right? I mean, if I have to go by some accounts, I have a 10 crore dining table, which I clearly do not, right? And and I don't think anyone in India has a 10 crore dining table if you ask me, right? But yeah, that's been written about me, so I know how untrue the media can be or the perception of people can be as against the reality. So yeah, no judgments at all.
In fact, Apura Makhija is one of the names we have heard. Shalini, even Seema. So there are some bunch of names which are popular and at the same time entertaining. In fact, you chose to let go of 5 contestants because they were boring. So do you feel that it's important to also have someone who can kind of entertain the audience?
I mean, of course, it's an entertainment show, no?
Because otherwise it gets boring completely.
Yeah,
Why do you want to see
हम
something which is
कुछ
plain?
आपको कुकिंग नहीं सिखा रहे, हमको बताएंगे इंग्रेडिएंट डालिए, वो इंग्रेडिएंट डालिए. It's a proper entertainment show, and we are not being apologetic about it, right? We are embracing it, and to me, in reality show, a lot of entertainment should come from the contestants, as against the game masters, right? We are not used to it, but that's what I believe should be there. So I think this show is truly more about the contestants, and the more interesting contestants you have, the better content you'll get out of it.
If you had to choose any Bollywood stars, or actors for that matter, for this show, who would it be and why?
No, I think what we have as a mix is very good for the first season, right? I think आप किसी को बॉलीवुड से ले आओ, वो unnecessary attention भी draw करते हैं. So then it becomes more about that individuality, right? You're that individual. I think you need to have people who can stand their own and not be overawed saying कि यार इनके अगेंस्ट मेरी क्या औकात, मैं क्या करूँगा यहाँ पे, right? So I think it is good to have people from different backgrounds. If you have sports person, you have people from the Hindi heartland, you have singers, you have rappers. I think it's a good mix of people.
And what is your judging criteria going to be around these? Is it going to be, of course, like, wanting them to come, to a different class and you're like, vouch for it? Like, how are you going to judge?
No, I think it's not about me passing judgment. The show is much more than that.
Okay.
My role is to bring in the twists, right? It is not your traditional host saying कि मैं गेम आगे बढ़ाता हूँ या मैं अब इस बात को ख़त्म करते हैं. That is not my task. My task is to say कि you think you're done with it, and now here comes the twist, right? Okay. So I think you'll see it in the show.
Your weight loss journey has also kind of, catched attention. You have lost like 10 kgs and with a very simple diet and, probably walking. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, मेरे को किसी ने शार्क टैंक पे मोटा बोल दिया तो मेरे को गुस्सा आ गया. मैंने बोला चलो ठीक है, मैं भी पतला होकर दिखा देता हूँ. So yeah, I lost some weight 2 years back. I lost a lot of weight back then. And कुछ नहीं किया, मैं एक सिंपल जिम जाता था 45 मिनट के लिए. मैं आधा घंटा ट्रेडमिल पे करता था, सेम आधा घंटा हर रोज़. एंड एक वो क्रॉस ट्रेनर करता था 10 मिनट के लिए. दैट्स इट. आई नेवर पिक्ड अप एनी वेट. आई डिडंट डू एनीथिंग फैंसी, नो पिलाटेस, नथिंग. एंड वो हो गया, मतलब कम हो गया था. फिर थोड़ा चढ़ भी गया वापस. बट मेरे को लगता है थोड़ा वेस्ट हो गया यार. आज की डेट में तो ओज़ेम्पिक ले लेते कि इंजेक्शन और काम हो जाता. आई डोंट हैव एनी जजमेंट ऑन इट. आई थिंक इफ यू फील and if there is an easier way to do it,
in fact, we have seen like Karan Johar and Kusha Kapila transforming. Like
I don't know what they have done, so I don't want to pass any judgment on anyone. But my point is कि if someone is making a Ozempic वाला छोला भटूरा जिसको खा के आपका वेट कम हो सकता है, I am all game to do the investment.
Last two questions to you. Delhi versus Mumbai, because you have like your home in Delhi versus Mumbai. What differences have you seen over here versus there? Working style, lifestyle,
I think
otherwise.
Bombay is a great place to work. I've worked here and I've of course shot here, and every time I've shot here I've loved the professionalism. It worked out well for me as well. Delhi is a great place to live, but neither is perfect, therefore, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Delhi mein work ethic can be better. Bombay mein general life can be better. So yeah, still searching for that perfect city in India.
And lastly, before I let you go, of course, this question pops up in everyone's head ever since we saw you on Big Boss. Are the concerns sorted between you and Salman? Would we see a collaboration taking place? Was there any concern, if as such?
मेरे को तो कुछ था भी नहीं यार. मैं तो बंदे की तारीफ की थी. मतलब if you look at or you can tell me where have I said anything wrong about him, right? मैं तो तारीफ की थी. अब वो शो पे बुला के आपने कुछ कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएट कर दी कुछ बोल के. ठीक है यार, वो मे बी दैट्स व्हाट दे नीडेड फॉर द शो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. I liked the guy before, that's why I had him as a brand ambassador. No love lost as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but like any collaboration, if in future, would be possible if you would like to.
Yeah, never say never.
Yeah. Well, lovely chatting with you, Ashneer, and all the very best. Looking forward to see more of your work. And after this, anything which you're kind of collaborating on, working on, if you could reveal something about that.
नहीं यार, अभी तो this is it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.